All right. Hola, people. How are you guys doing? I said good morning just now. Good afternoon is what I meant to say if I said good morning earlier. I am going to put laminate over these. Normally, I cover up my registration marks, but I want to see if to be in, because some people say if theirs doesn't pick up, if they have laminate over their registration marks. I want to see if mine will pick up. That's why I only did a small run of these to where if it doesn't, I can just if it doesn't pick up, I don't mind, cutting these out manually. But like the big one, if it doesn't pick up on this, that run that's 100 stickers right now, I'm not gonna put laminate over it. But I always have that this is a piece from I think either vinyl or like the old piece of laminate, and I just kind of put it in there. It gives me an end point for the one before it and a beginning point for this one because most times I don't give myself this much space. Then you see on the other, I think it doesn't have this much space. So when I put it on here, it just gives me extra space when I reload it in there and then also on the end. Although this one I did cut a lot off the bottom. But to make sure that I'm lined up, I have like a little setup here to where when I pulled it down, I put tape here for this. And then I have the masking tape and I also kind of put my leading one under there. So when I'm doing this, I put it underneath it. Sometimes I'll also use it to cover up. Like if I cut this short enough, that's another way that I can cover up my marks. I've done it that way before too. How I cover my marks up is this part covers it. So the laminate starts down here. That way, when I cut that away, it's just, these are exposed. But I'm going to see, this is glossy. So I'm going to put it under there. Actually, I have to feed this one in a little bit more. And I don't know if it was just me. I was having issues, of course, where the laminate was sticking to the roller underneath and it was getting bunched up. So I always just put another piece there just to keep it from bunching up. I don't know if it's just me and how that works, but I was having issues. So this runs off of a foot pedal. So we're going to bring this over here. So here it says run, foot, forward, reverse, and then how fast you want it to go. There's a little foot pedal down here. My toes are not done, so I'm not going to show y'all me with my foot on this pedal, but we just use this to get it going. Uh-oh. What are you stuck on? See? You don't got stuck on something. Uh-uh. So now I got to push this through to make that tight again. All right. Now I'm like all the way through. It was stuck on the bar. So I'm not gonna really have any like leeway, but I use this as my guide and put that in there. And also, I missed it because I normally tape it down. That's the other thing, because it's already in there. If this is a little bit off to where one side is catching before the other, because I didn't do like a straight cut, it helps me with that also. But I completely looked at that and I completely forgot to tape it down because I went too far because it was messed up. All right, hold on. Now I'm gonna try and get it under there and make sure both sides are under there and it is nice and straight. And this is not hot. This is cold laminate. So basically, it's like a clear 651. Like it's a clear sticker basically that you put over it to protect it. Oh, come on. Dang it. That was my fault. I forgot to do my steps in taping this. Ah, you're going to have to reverse. Dang it. was not straight in any way, shape, or form. I felt it going in oh so crooked. All right, forward. All right, now that is back aligned. Hopefully this is now a bit straighter, which I know it's not. That's okay. And oh, I'm so mad at myself. All right, hold on. Let's do this the way that I normally do it. This piece is straight. So I pre-cut. I have a bunch of them sitting here. I have them pre-cut. I know that this is nice and straight because of how I cut it. So I'm going to put this in here. All right. So it's picking up. Okay. I'm going to let this go. If I wanted to cover them up, I will put it underneath. But for this one, I'm going to just leave it on top. I got to grab the tape. And I just realized I did it upside down. This is a non-stick side, so my tape may not stick to this. I normally put it on the paper side. I'm like, crap, I see shine. That's the wrong side. But I'm just going to line it up here. And yes, it's definitely crooked. And then normally it just grabs. Why are you wrinkling now? Oh, come on. And I don't know why I have wrinkles here. It's not wrinkled on the back side. So once I get it going, which I'm going in crooked, I normally just hit run and let it go, which, I mean, it's still going down smooth. Luckily, there's a little bit of wiggle room. I'm going to have to figure out the tension and why that messed up over LC. Now the tension's kind of coming off. So once it gets here, I'm going to go back to foot. And I normally load my next one so that it catches the next time. So I'm going to go like this. And this is just for me. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a better way of doing this. But for me, for now, it works while I'm trying to figure out my laminator. And once that is under there, which it's totally off now, it's way, way off, I go to the back and cut it off and just leave this hanging here. So I'm going to go to the back. Use my cutter. Oh, no, I did get some bubbles in it. Dang it. Some of them have bubbles where those ripples were, but that's okay. I'll keep those stickers for myself. But I'll do it again because now it looks like the tension is not messed up. Once this set of 100 is done, I'll put it back through again because this had all types of issues. But because it didn't go on straight, I now have to trim this because it went in crooked. I now have to trim this so that it doesn't mess up when I put it back in the BN. The part on this side doesn't matter because that's going to get cut off anyway, but you cannot have this part when you put it back in the Roland to cut it. So now I'm going to go through this and cut off the edges and cut off all the rest of this stuff that's unnecessary at this point. Yeah, normally the laminate is right to the edge of it. I don't have to do this. This is a extra step because it went in crooked, and I don't know why it went in so crooked. I don't know if the boys were in here messing with this because the tension is off on it. I saw the ripples, and I normally don't get ripples because we have a whole bunch of other stickers that are already over there to the side that have been done, and they are perfect. And this is, you put this over it. Now, I mean, you technically can print it and go. It is eco-solvent, but if it's going to be exposed to the elements or, you know, liquids and food, like for it to last longer, it's UV protecting. You should put the, you should put the protectant, the laminate over it, and it just makes them also a bit thicker where it's not so thin like vinyl because it's basically 2 layers at that point. Oh, come on. These are some horrible scissors. I see what Eva was talking about earlier. All right. All right, so that's ready to go back in there. Once this job is done printing, I will show you guys what that job looks like right now. Don't mind my garage. So this is now printing out. Because this doesn't have like a catch tray, I'm probably sure I could buy one. But what I do is our box for our sublimation paper that stuff goes in. I just have it catching in here so that it kind of accordion folds. Hopefully by the time those get down there, they're dry because technically they're not supposed to touch each other, which when I first came in here, I was making a video and they did touch, but technically they're not supposed to touch. I'm going to try and catch this before it gets all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to put a piece of paper, parchment paper in there just to protect it because you don't want the print side to touch the print side. It can touch the paper side, which is what it's doing back there. I'm not sure if you guys can see. It's accordion fold to where it's not touching it, but this is about to touch. So I have to put something in there to protect it, which technically I can just drop. And if you parchment paper, I'll just drop that in there, and that's going to keep that from touching. And before it gets to this part, I'll just push it back to where it starts to accordion again. But that's how I let mine catch because I have a floor, like a regular floor. Stuff can be on it. You don't want any particles on it. So I just put mine in the box so that it can catch. And once I'm ready to print and cut this bad boy, this box goes to the back to feed it. I don't try to rewind it onto the housing. I just kind of let it feed from here. And then I have a box in the front to catch it again. So yeah, I don't bother to rewind it once it is ready to cut it again. All right. But yep, you get to see Roro in action a little bit here. But that is the Roland. I know my garage is a hotmess.com. So yeah, there is that. Hey, just saying. And once this is done, I do plan to do another video where I will show it cutting. It takes a really long time to cut on this. We need to rearrange this so I can bring my big cutter out here so I can just print from this one and then use my US cutter contour cut machine to cut it out, because the way that this moves, it takes a really long time for it to cut on this machine. So it'll probably, this is an hour, 2 hours. So to print 100 of these at this particular size, it was 128 minutes. So a little over 2 hours. And then I have to then laminate it and then bring it back in to cut. So of course, while this is laminating, I'm going to go ahead and cut the other one. Oh, that's the other thing with this. When I take it to the laminator, I leave it in the box and I put it through the laminator and it catches in a box. So then the box that it catches in is what it stays in, and I feed it through the back, and then it catches in the front. It was a package deal, but it's still like a separate purchase. So the link that I have in the description is for the machine and the laminator. So it is a package deal, but it's not like it was. I don't think there was a discount on it, because when you look at how much the laminator costs, if I'm not mistaken, I think it cost about the same thing. So I don't think it was like a discount with getting the laminator, but I definitely got the laminator with it. Any other questions before one thing I haven't used yet is my metallic. I definitely need to use that ASAP Rocky. You have to create a spot color for it. So I haven't had a chance to play around with that to create the spot color for the metallic layer, but I do plan to do these where it's a metallic layer, metallic base underneath it. So and then once it gets close to this, I'll just hit it back so that it doesn't come that way. Like, so it's not touching. None of the ink is touching. I have a chance to get a CB30 160, but not sure if I'm ready to spend the $7,000 or not without a laminator. I highly recommend a laminator. Really, really do. I had one of these stickers on my phone, and it smeared off. Like, in less than a week, I had it on there, and all the color came off. It was on a clear sticker or clear vinyl, and it came all off within a week. So especially when someone's going to hold it in their hand, it's going to be exposed to the elements, something with like liquids and fluids and stuff, you definitely want to laminate it. All right. No other questions are posted. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Until next time, guys, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.